Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Kotaro Prince. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for so much for watching this video. Today I want to talk about 10 habits that I picked up during my time in the United States Air Force. And I still do today, even though I've been separated for a while. These habits were just pretty much things that were really taught to me during my time in the United States Air Force, and really just had such a significant impact, and pretty much repetition that they still carried over when I separated from the military. So pretty much let's jump into it. Number one is the sir or ma'am. So pretty much I still say a lot of times yes sir, yes ma'am, no sir, no ma'am. It's just something that I really had, you're doing in the military. I still do it kind of regularly even though I'm no longer in, but it's pretty much the indication is the mindset is I only do it really when I pretty much don't know the individual. So pretty much if it's like in a professional environment or if someone I don't even know, sometimes I even do it to people who are younger. I have become more conscious though when people have told me please don't call me that, they don't like it, and I try to keep that mindset. But regularly I still use that a lot of times in that indication, or like I might use it in the end of a sentence usually. But I have been more conscious and to respect people who say, "Hey, please don't use that," and I try to be conscious. But it's still something that I do use in the regular basis. Number two is I still think in military time. So when I'm saying that, I understand when people say 1700, which is 5 p.m., 1800, 6 p.m., or 0400, 4 in the morning, and stuff like that. And it's just something that's really been installed, especially right when I separated from the Air Force. It really stuck there, and I still used it. And more now, I don't use it as much, but I still can think of that. So if someone says that time, like maybe for, like I said, like 1900, which is 7 p.m., it hits me right away, and I go, oh, I can think of that. And I know some places in the civilian world they still use it, but it's been used less and less. But sometimes I still think in that mindset. Number three is I still wake up pretty early. I like is in the military woke up really early. It's just something that's been really installed. But let me clarify on that. Like, I'm not waking up at 0400 doing PT pretty much. I do wake up in a regular basis time though. I'm not sleeping in until the afternoon, or real even like, let's say if I go to bed like at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, pretty much I still wake up in a really like reasonable time. I think the latest is usually 7 or 8, and it's just something that my body's been instilled, and I've been waking up on a regular basis. And that's something that the military, during my like in that time, I was really using, waking up, going to PT and stuff like that, or like had early appointments or stuff like that. And it's just really continued. There have been times though when I like maybe don't sleep until like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, then I might sleep into the afternoon. But those are very rare occasions. I usually try to wake up in the regular time. I just don't like wasting my whole time, like whole day, and then like it goes by sleeping through it. Number four is pretty much is I am still regularly going to appointments early. So in the United States Air Force and across pretty much all branches, the mindset is if you're not, if you're 15 minutes, you're on time, and if you're on time, you're late. So with that aspect, there is like a little caveat is I do kind of I do try to get there as early as possible if necessary, and I'm a majority of my appointments or meetups or like just hanging out with people, I am usually there early, and I'm usually give my time so I'm not rushing. But there have been times when I do just make it on time or where I'm late, and that has become more regularly ever since I separated from the military. But a majority of time since I've been in the Air Force is it's was always on time, but now it's like it's okay to be on time or a little late. In the Air Force, I meant like you're always there early. But I do like being at locations for like meetings, like appointments and stuff. I like being there like a little earlier because it's just less stressful, and I'm not rushing to get through those ones. But it has laxed a little bit. Number five is I still try to get a haircut and keep it short. In the United States Air Force, I did it maybe every 2 weeks because we had really those regulations of the strict ones of trying to keep it short. But with here in the civilian world, I still like keeping it short. It's less maintenance, and that's the reason why I kind of like to do it a lot, but to cut it more regularly. But I maybe let it grow like 3 weeks to a month, but I tried to stick about 2 to 3 weeks to get my hair cut and stuff. I really like keeping it short. Like I indicated, it's really easy maintenance and everything. It dries quicker and all that. So I do prefer to keep it in a cleaner cut. And people say I look kind of better with it. And I kind of agree. Number 6 is I still try to shave regular basis as well. And like in the United States Air Force and across all the branches is you did have to shave on a regular basis and all that. I have let myself go a little bit. I may not shave on a daily basis, and there are times when I do like no shave November or mustache March, but it's just there was a time when I let my facial hair really grow out just to see how far it could go. But I do like the more clean shaven look, and I actually polled people and they said it's better. So I do try to keep a clean shaven and stuff like that, but I'm not shaving on a regular basis like every day and stuff. But my facial hair doesn't grow that quick as well. Number 7 is my situational awareness. This is something I really picked up in my time in the United States Air Force, where it really was the mindset of being aware of your surroundings, of potentially, have your head like on a swivel. And that's something that's really been, on a strong point. And even like when I separated from the military, is I really kept that mindset of like, always looking around and stuff like that, or just being self-aware of what's happening in case something like, for example, there's a argument or yelling and stuff, and like, try to avoid those kind of situations if necessary, or just be aware of like who's around you and stuff like that and what they're doing. It's just, I'd rather be safer than sorry, and that's the mindset, and it still has carried over. I try to keep my distance with people I don't know, if I'm talking. And some people have given me the feedback of like why I'm like that and stuff, or like why am I always looking around and stuff. And it's just something that I try to keep mindset wise, because it's something I'd rather protect myself. And like I said, I'd rather be safer than sorry. Number 8 is I still try to stay in a more active lifestyle. So when I say that is I really try to, I'm not the most fit as when I was in the United States Air Force, but I try to stay semi active. So I might go like outside and walk, play some Pokemon Go, at least get, moving and stuff. I might do like a HIIT workout at my home at house, and just pretty much like high intense workout, even like on that aspect. It's something that, in the military, you were very active and everything. So it's really just carried over, and I just like to be out and about as much as possible. I might go on some kind of hikes and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not as active as I was during my time in the Air Force, but I do try to carry that over and still really, hey, get up, do something, pretty much. Number 9 is I still eat pretty fast. It's like in the military, it's the sense of, pretty much like I move with a sense of urgency, and this carried over not only at basic military training, tech school, even operational Air Force. There were times when you had to eat fast and get something done, and that has actually carried over. And I've just done it. It's just people go, you eat really fast. So, when I go out with people, they see like, hey, you're already done and stuff like that. I notice I eat fast. I do try to slow it down a little bit, because I know with digestive system it is better for you to be eating slower, to allow like the meal, like food, to go down easier and stuff like that. But there are times when I still do eat fast, and it happens. Number 10 is pretty much I still use some military phrases. So pretty much is I still say like PT, or which is physical training, which in civilian world be just workout. I think I've used sometimes like the dining facility. When people say grocery stores, I think of like the BX, which is the base exchange. So it's just sometimes when I'm talking, especially when I'm talking about like my work history and stuff like that, I do bring up like phrases, or like talk about like concepts. It's just still thinking of the military, and I use some phrases like that. Latrine, I don't use it as much anymore. It's more restroom, but I have used it sometimes, especially when I first separated, when I'm from the military, more like when I was still recent and all that. I'm gonna add 2 bonuses, even though I said 10, so I apologize with the title and all that in my intro. But I would say number 11 would be I still walk very fast. I think during the time in the United States Air Force, there were so many people where we all just walk fast. And now when I'm in the civilian world, people have pointed that out, like, why are you walking fast? I guess it's a mindset of just moving with a sense of urgency and trying to get stuff done. And I try to do that, like when I go like shopping, or like grocery shopping and stuff like that, or I have try and do a task. I just move with a sense of urgency and try and knock it out as fast as I can. So I'd be walking pretty fast, I think. And the last one, number 12, is I really enjoy traveling now. Like during my time, I was very blessed when I was in the United States Air Force, the opportunity and blessed where my location was, and I took very full advantage of that and used it to the max. I was able to like travel all across Europe, and that carried over after I separated the military. It really just gave me that when I was able to travel, really understand that everyone has a unique culture in some senses, and the way to understand that culture is by traveling, diving into their culture and trying to learn as much as possible. This can be from food, going through like museums and stuff and seeing like areas, understand like talking to the people and really understanding them, and that's really been carried over. And I've been blessed to be able to travel even after I separated from the United States Air Force to different countries as well. The last couple of years I haven't because of everything, but I hope that sooner than later I'll be able to go back to being able to travel again. So those are some habits I picked up during my time in the military that has still carried over. I think they're all positive and they actually have helped my life in some kind of aspects and just uplift are able to help me. And I think that they're all positive in my perspective. Again, I don't do them as strictly as before. They're a little more relaxed, but I do kind of carry over. It really built a strong framework for me, and it's something I still do. To any of my fellow veterans, do any habits that you picked up that you still do even though you're no longer in, please comment below and let's talk about it. As always, please give this video a like, share, and as always, thank you for taking a view. If I misnumbered these, I apologize, but I hope you get the gist of it and what I was trying to do. And to all my fellow veterans, thank you for your service. And to all, take care and God bless.